This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Don't forget to slap a like on this video. Rocko is suing Future. If you don't know, Future was discovered by Rocko and was signed to his label A1 Recordings. So free bands are signed to A1 Recordings. You wouldn't even know about Future if it wasn't for Rocko. Rocko believed in Future when Future was nothing and was actually kind of bad.
Well, Future came to me, actually. He came to my studio. I was working with the Franchise Boys. He came to the studio. I took a liking to him, you know, and the rest history. Future signed to A1 Recordings, my label.
Okay.
Yeah. I furnished him the Epic.
You know, so he believed in Future and put money behind Future in the beginning. Rocko is the owner of A1 Recordings, and he is citing a breach of contract in the lawsuit, saying Future breached it. It says the deal was for Future to make his first 6 albums with A1, distributed through Epic Records. And then things got kind of tricky because they cut a side deal with Future, and then it got him like millions in advance, and then Rocko was left out in the cold because Future just kind of stiffed him on the 25% commission. I think he was supposed to get 20% off of touring and endorsements, etc. So he had to do a lawsuit. I mean, what else was supposed to happen? Was he supposed to go find him in the street and beat him up? I mean, you know, Rocko's a businessman in the beginning of the day. You know, Rocko's behind he found Young Dro, brought him to T.I., Little Sammy before Dro. He dealt with the Franchise Boys, and he believed in Future. And he had his own rap career. And mind you, he was with Monica before. And this is like a guy that you know, speaking about Rocko, is a real businessman and a real street dude. I mean, this guy's always been rolling around in big whips, you know, Benzes, Rolls Royces, everything. And it's because he handles his business properly. He always does those contracts properly. He's invested in real estate, furniture stores, all kinds of stuff. This guy is a real businessman. You know, he took his street money and flipped it. So now he's just suing like any businessman would for his rightful percentage. Rocko tweeted out, "Lord knows I haven't seen the courthouse in ages. That's what lawyers are for. Old homie of mine once told me, just let the lawyers handle it." Basically saying stay out of it. Don't incriminate yourself. Just let the lawyers take it to court. But then Future then responds, "Call them people and tell them you was just playing, Brody. I don't want my boy out here looking like no baby mama." And real street dudes went to courthouse. How did it feel when you signed those papers? Future's just hurt because, you know, it's all out in the public, and he's being called out for being kind of shady, man. You know, we all know Future makes great music. I mean, that's undeniable. You know, he makes good music. He writes great music. Even if you're not into it, he changed music. And, you know, he cut his own deals. He got a little greedy and didn't give the guy who found him the right percentage. I mean, this always happens. This is the tale of the music industry and entertainment, period. Once you get on, you get that money, you get a big head, and you forget the people who got you to where you're at. You wouldn't be here without Rocko. So I kind of have to side with Rocko on this one because, you know, Rocko found Future. We wouldn't even know who Future was if it wasn't for Rocko believing in him. Believe me. And Rocko just is handling it like a real businessman would, because it's better than the other way, or some people would just pick up a gun and go handle it in the streets, and that's not the way to handle it, because then people lose their lives, and, you know, people have kids and families. You know, there's ways to do business, and there's ways to do street stuff, and this is a business matter. So I respect them for handling it in the court.